Hello and welcome to HCS Connects. I'm Kelly Gorel with Hampton City Schools. Today we have two of our curriculum leaders with us. We have Shari Drake, who is our curriculum lead for English Language Arts K through 12, as well as Kelly D, who is our curriculum lead for Visual and Performing Arts. So welcome to HCS Connects.
Thank you.
And we've got English Language Arts, and then we've got music and the fine arts and performing arts, and probably people are wondering, why are you here together? So we're actually here to really talk about a new program this year, and that is called our Elementary Arts and Literacy Program. And I got that correct, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what is the Elementary Arts and Literacy Program.
Well, after COVID, we understood that we had some learning loss, especially in our elementary school. So we decided to come together. We were very fortunate to be afforded with a state grant that we had some funding. So we were able to be creative. And so we decided to work together to infuse creativity and all of the power standards for language arts that our children were really lacking from COVID. So that's kind of where it started.
So, and again, it's the arts and literacy. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, it starts with creativity, and then we utilize music, art, theater, and movement, and we thread a power standard through each one of those fields, if you will, on a Saturday with 40 minutes each, and each weekend is different for the students, and we hope they both take away what they've learned from the Language Arts SOL and the fantastic experience of using the arts to learn that.
Well, and you said we do this on Saturday. So elaborate a little bit more about, because when people think traditional public school, we think Monday through Friday. We know there's so much more that goes on in the evenings and now the weekends. We've had some weekend things, but elaborate a little bit more about what does that structure look like that day and who's participating?
Sure. It is Saturdays at most schools from 8 in the morning until noon. The students have 4 40-minute sessions with a group of up to 9 teachers. Up to 72 students can participate at every school. This has been going on since September and will continue through until August.
And what grade levels?
We have grade bands, so K and 1, pre-K and K, 1 and 2, and 3 through 5.
So I really like that you said bands, because it's not like I'm going into a classroom, I'm a first grade student and I'm just sitting in that classroom. I'm in there as well with a grade level that's either above me or below me. And another piece that I really wanted to talk about, because I thought was really interesting when we had a side conversation, is not your first grade teacher isn't necessarily teaching the first grade students. So tell us a little bit about that structure.
So we're really excited. We have a lot of team teaching, so it may be a reading specialist with a third grade teacher or a kindergarten teacher with a second grade teacher, and they get to really focus on what excites them. So if they love art or music or theater, it's funny to watch them come alive when they're teaching, because we get to see them on a regular basis teaching their, during the day, but they come alive when they get to have shakers and dance. So it's really great to see two teachers team teaching together, and it gives the kids, I'm watching you for a little while, and then you switch, and then I get to watch you. So they're having a great time. We've gotten to visit a lot of different programs on Saturdays, and we always ask the teachers, what do you think? Thank you for spending your Saturday. And they're like, we love it. It's so much fun, and the kids love it. So it's just great to see that learning loss can really be focused in a fun atmosphere on Saturdays.
And I like how you said a fun atmosphere. So why the arts? Why is that so important to integrate that?
That's a great question. We believe that children are hardwired for the arts. It's difficult to find a child who doesn't want to sing or make art or move around a little too much or tell a story.
And it sounds like the teachers too.
Absolutely. Okay. And so we're capitalizing on those experiences that they love to do and connecting them through the curriculum to language arts. And then the teams of teachers, this is somewhat of a professional development for them, because they might not have used these modes of instruction before either. And also teachers get to watch each other teach. They get to be examples for the students utilizing the curriculum.
And before we get to the curriculum, which I'll ask Shari about, and she had mentioned this little bit of shaking and moving. Like, I had the opportunity to visit an elementary school on a Saturday with you, Kelly, and we saw keyboards out. We saw them making sock puppets. There was a lot of art going on and music. So yeah, that is something that's different than when you usually see in a classroom Monday through Friday. And it sounds like you're connecting the English language arts through the arts. So with the curriculum, we know Hampton City Schools. We don't purchase curriculum. We pretty much create. So tell us how this curriculum was created or is working.
Well, we're excited to offer a stipend, and so that we have Hampton City Schools teachers, whether it's a classroom teacher, librarian, music teacher, art teacher, whoever was available that really wanted to write curriculum, and we worked together to collaborate to come up with some amazing finds. And so they wrote the curriculum. Right now we have 8 sessions, and Kelly's working with some to make even more curriculum for the next 8 sessions. But it's so great to see. We just give them kindergarten, for example, syllables, alphabet, sound recognition, and they kind of took it and said, for example, Pete the cat. We all love Pete the cat. So if you're, rocking in your school shoes, and you're learning your colors and your letters and your sounds, we're doing that through the art medium, singing and dancing, and it's just fun. They don't really realize they're learning all their letters, sounds, and all of that. So we just have really made sure that it's fun. There's read-alouds, there's grammar infused with music, arts, and movement, to the point that they don't even really know they're learning when they're learning, because it's just fun.
And you shared a story similar to that with me, as far as you had talked with or overheard one of our elementary students say they didn't think they learned anything for the day because they didn't realize they were
didn't know what to
learning.
expect when they came, and by the end of the day, they said, "Oh, I had so much fun." And the teacher said, "Well, you do realize that you read 4 books?" I was like, "No, I didn't." "Yes, you did. You read 4 books this morning, and
did activities with
and
them.
shared with your classmates and things like that, and use your creativity to do it."
Well, that's excellent. And also, this is enrichment as well as remediation. We always talk about our tiered systems of support when it comes to academics, and now we've got the 3 tiers, and that tier 1 should be offered to all students, and then as they need additional supports, they may go into a tier 2 or a tier 3, but this really lies in the tier 1 because it's been optional for all students. Like, we're trying to hit the students that we know might need a little bit more remediation over enrichment, but it is offered for all, correct? K through 5. And you said 72 students at each school.
Yes.
We've got 20 elementary schools, so we're doing this at all 20 elementary schools?
Yes, and the schedule is different because there's so many things going on in the buildings, and this grant closes next fall. So some schools started in September, some are starting in the second semester, some are starting after spring break, and some will have their programs during the summer.
Okay, so there's some flexibility there. Yep. Tell me a little bit about transportation, though. How do our students get to this Saturday school?
Well, we are excited because we have collaborated with transportation and also nutrition. So the exciting part is if you're an eligible transportation bus rider, they take them to school at 8 o'clock and they pick them back up at 12 and drop them off. So
very convenient for families.
Very convenient. They are offered breakfast and a snack. So it's just a win-win. Kids, they get there, the parents are excited because they know that they're going to a great place where they're going to learn on Saturday. So.
And this is not the only program that we have in Hampton City Schools. We're very rich in different opportunities for students. And when I say rich, doesn't mean that we're a rich school division, but rich in opportunities. But tell us a little bit about some other ways that we're addressing just that learning loss from the pandemic with our littlest learners or our elementary learners.
So we're very fortunate. We have a plethora of reading support in our elementary schools. We have reading specialist positions in all schools. Some of our tier 2 and tier 3 schools, we have interventionists for reading, literacy support specialists. We also were fortunate to have our ERIAs, which are early reading intervention assistants. They work with K3, our littlest learners, to really build that foundation so we can get them right when they are. We have about 47 together.
Wow.
So that's new, and 37 of them are full-time this year.
That's
really
amazing.
Yeah, so we're really excited. So I feel like the teachers feel supported in order to do what we need to do to help and differentiate. We also have other programs after school for Title I. We have University Corner, 21st Century, and those are grants that also help address learning loss after school. So we are very rich in things that we provide for our students.
That's excellent. So again, back to the Saturday opportunity, and this is for our elementary students. Tell us just a little bit more about the research behind why the arts are so important.
We know that involvement in the arts activates the entire brain. So when we have students moving, it's using kinesthetic. When we have them singing, they're using auditory. They're using visual when they paint and things like that. And it's certainly touching on sort of self-expression and connecting to what they picture. And that's one of our goals, is that students read and write in every session, but also picture what they're doing from the story. And not just listening passively, but listening actively, so that when a student says something, we ask and we inquire, like parents do with their children, what does that mean? Or did you see an example? Or what are you thinking? So it takes that approach, certainly focusing on pre-K through 3, for students to get them understanding what they can do with their reading and writing that they enjoy doing as well.
That's excellent. Well, this has been a great chat. I love listening to all the things that are going on within our schools, and it really has been, it was a great opportunity to go in and see it myself on a Saturday, and there's a lot of work that's being done by our teachers and our administrators to make this happen, so big shout out to them, because, you know, yes, they are being paid, but they're also giving up their Saturday in order to just, you know, make it even better for our students. So I wanted to give them a shout out as we wrap up. So as we are wrapping up, is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you'd like to make sure that we include?
No, I think you hit it on the head. We just appreciate everybody on board. It's been so great working with us, because I feel like, you know, the more we collaborate and work together, and I think everyone in Hampton City Schools is really on the same goal, student success. So we just appreciate everybody.
Well, and thank you for your leadership and giving up your Saturdays as well.
Thank you.
All right. And thank you for joining us on HCS Connects. Remember, it's easy to stay connected.